I'm Abby.
And I'm Justine.
Welcome back to Book Talk Girl Talk. This is our reread of A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas.
Join us as we go over chapters 25 through 30. Reminder, these are filled with spoilers of the entire ACOSF series. Also, reminder to not take anything we say too seriously.
All work is credit to Sarah J. Maas, and join our Girl Talk as we book talk our way through one of our favorites. Let the ACOSF spirit lead us to...
It's getting too good.
It's getting really
too good that we don't know how many chapters we'll get through.
Yeah. If we get through 10, if we get through 2, you know, it's just a big question mark. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead. Do you have cliff notes for this one, or did you?
I told you my cliff notes really fell. I was good for the first few chapters.
It's hard. It's hard
well,
to
stay on top of it. I start rolling, you know?
Yeah, you really can't stop. And that's what I did. Rereading it, I literally was like, this is the time I'm going to take notes. But I remember I was like 3 chapters into one part, and I was like, crap, I need to go back because I didn't mark a single thing.
But then also, you have this lovely outline for us. So, because I was actually, before this podcast, before we came over here, I was going to go through the chapters and be like, okay, what did we learn? But then I saw you have your outline, and I was like, well,
I know. I think that helps. We're getting organized, people. We're getting it so together.
But what are your cliff notes on your book? I see you've quite a bit.
I always have cliff notes because I just need to write
so much better
as much as possible in my books. Look, you can see all the writing I have in my book now.
Okay, I want to get these tabs.
And before, well, this amazing person got them for me, and this really nice pen. And my students keep trying to steal my pens because they're like, these are amazing. I swear, if I get a bad pen, it's a gift again.
So I have my reading tote bag, that I bring here every time we do our podcast, and I had my pen in the tote bag, and so when I was reading last night, I was like, well, now what pen do I use? And I used a regular pen, and it was awful.
Oh, I hate that. You know what I did? Same thing. Yeah. I couldn't find this pen. And you know what pen I had to use? An orange pen.
No.
It was ridiculous, and I didn't even want to use it, but it was orange, which, I mean, it kind of matched the book, so the aesthetic was there. But I did not have the same
aesthetic
effect.
of, the colors of the book?
Can we talk about it?
So, which color is your favorite?
Honestly, at first when I looked at all of them, I didn't like them all together.
It's too bold.
Yeah, they're all so different. Yeah. If there was somewhat of a theme, but I do like that they're different overall.
Me too.
But looking at the Throne of Glass book set, that one's really pretty. Yeah, and I'm like, that one's cute. Although I'm already 2 books in and I do not like it. Whoever wants to come at me, do it. I will take that to the grave.
I loved your story when you're finally done.
Oh, I felt
so proud for
I was so proud of myself. I finished the last page and I'm like, finally, I can never read this book again. It was so boring. Everyone's like, oh, but I love the first 2 books. I'm like,
no, it's the worst.
But please tell me it gets better. Anyways, I think I liked the first one's a classic. Just the red.
The red is a classic.
The red ACOSF book is good, and I don't know, call me basic, but I like the Frost and Starlight. That blue, blue with the gold was so cute. Nice. I don't know. The pink and the teal of the second one were just too different. The big teal one? Yeah. They were just too different that it was just kind of odd to me. That I was like,
I think, the blue one is, I think, overall, the color scheme is my favorite.
The second one? The Frost and Starlight. The little one, yeah.
But I do think I kind of like that the green-blue one.
Yeah, it was cool. I just didn't like it with the purple. I feel like if the purple was a different color, I'd be like, oh, cool. Yeah. But you have purple and red, and they're just kind of out there.
It's just, it's out there.
I mean, it flows well. Now looking back, I'm like, okay, it's cool. Yeah. Good design choice on you guys, but not my favorite.
Yeah, I just look at my bookshelf sometimes, and I'm like, which one's my favorite?
Yeah. But I don't care about the outside. It's what's on the inside.
It's on the inside.
And it's this book. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so my cliff notes, I say Gwen starts training, and then spoiler at the end, Emery starts training. So cute. And then this was where, because I've been trying to find, this is where they mentioned the grandma, and then I just wrote down Eris because he's mentioned in this chapter 2.
Yep.
So chapter 25.
All right.
I don't have anything on the first page. Did you have anything?
No, I didn't. This is just Gwen or Nesta getting nervous because she doesn't know if Gwen's gonna actually show up.
I know, which is so cute. Yeah. When was the last time Nesta was nervous about something?
I know.
That wasn't like Cassia.
I know.
Right? Never. And this was just such a sweet moment. The next page I wrote, so 272, third paragraph, it said, Cassian said without looking over, I can teach you, what did I say? I can teach you in the robes if you wish, whatever's most comfortable. This is such a cute detail because he always meets people where they're at. I've started noticing this about him, and that's what makes him just amazing, and that's what makes me love him.
Because
he trains
pushy. Everybody differently.
Yeah.
Treats everybody differently.
According to them.
Yes.
That's so cute.
I thought that was really sweet. Just anything to make people comfortable.
Yeah, extremely so. To an extreme.
And I think he just noticed too, she is very much out of her comfort zone.
Oh, so cute. Sweet. But I just love that thing about, like, I've been trying to know, why is Nesta falling in love with him besides, the attraction? Because I always hate that. I've read enough romance books. I feel like the only thing you like about each other is the way you guys look, that the romance isn't there, like the actual romance. Like, he's cute and he's done one nice thing for me. I'm like, girls in the real world, please don't accept that as anyways. But he just I'm trying to notice all these cute little things about him, and that's the one thing. Like, everyone, he meets them where they're at. He tries. He does a whole, he extends his hand and he keeps trying. It's just such a cute. I just love that little.
Reaching out his hand.
Yeah, I just love that little detail about him. And then a couple paragraphs below that, I put that, and this is kind of like a random detail. Maybe I'm like overanalyzing this too much, but it just said, but she'd been almost afraid to, worried that one accidentally uttered sour remark would make Gwen reconsider. And because she said the word afraid, in my mind, I just said her fears are changing. She's not afraid of the things she used to be, of other people and stuff. She's actually afraid she's going to draw away other people in a different way than she did before. Before she was like, oh, I'm going to make people like hate me or angry or mad at me. But here she's just like, I just don't want to hurt her,
right?
And make her reconsider.
Gwen
in this
like
sense.
Her one, like, true friend.
Literally, it's like the only person she has.
She's just probably like terrified of losing her.
I know, that's so sweet. Like how much she's trying. It's just so yeah.
I know she's mentioned before, like once she figures out who Nesta actually is,
that she won't like her anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
I know. And then at the end, I just wrote, so cute, because they're talking about the feet. I just thought it was so funny. Because Cassian's like, oh, Ness will show you. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Anything else on that page?
Nope, that was all for that page.
Next one on the top, I just had, the priestess laughed at her own mistakes and did not bristle at corrections from Cassian. I thought that was cute too, because they both shared their fear of like failure and all this stuff. So I love that they're just in this safe space and they're able to.
Yeah, she felt safe enough to make those mistakes, to make those failures.
So cute. I love it.
At the down farther, a little bit farther down, like above that little like thingy, whatever. When Gwen said, "Because I don't ever want to feel powerless again." I thought that was just kind of like
I underlined that too.
Yeah,
I was like,
go get it. You got it.
I know. Especially people who've been through so much. It's like, I don't want to be that person again.
Yeah.
Their friendship has this foundation. Because that's the one thing I think she lacked with her sisters. Like, even though she and her sisters could still have a relationship, because they all now have been through like a very similar like traumatic thing, but I feel like this foundation is just different, just because they just see each other in a different way. Like, they both know what each other needs, and they're both like patient, and they both been through a similar thing. But it just, I don't know, it's just so sweet.
It's the chosen friendship.
Yeah, exactly. It is the chosen friendship. And that's what does make it special. And we talked about this so many times, but I'm still going to reiterate that people you choose are sometimes even more special, because they just keep coming back, and you keep choosing each other over and over again, and that's just the cutest thing. Yeah. Anything else on that page?
Nope, that was it for me. I did not have anything.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, this is probably one of the quicker chapters.
Oh, but this was when Nesta was like, was that when she went to Emery's place, and like Emery had that guy there?
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
Bellius.
Yeah, which was her cousin. I don't remember who.
Yeah, it's her cousin. Yeah. But he comes back a little later, so I guess I should have marked him.
I just loved when Nesta was like, like protecting her, and like she said like, a drunk fool wasting my time, and like I don't know, was standing up for her.
Yeah. She's like, I know. Cute. She's like, come on, girl, we've all been there.
Yep.
Like,
no, yes, seriously.
So cute. Okay, then the grandma's on the next page.
Okay, and that's why a lot of this
me
page.
Too.
Basically the whole page.
I just basically which I guess I can read, because I feel like people just forget her like grandma in her story.
Yes.
So I think I'll just read that paragraph, not the whole page, but. So Nesta pursed her lips. I know the type. I guess they're talking about whatever junk food. Her mother's mother had been the same way before she died of a deep-rooted cough that had turned into a deadly infection. Nesta had been 7 when the stern-faced dame, who had insisted on being called Grandmama, had beaten her palms raw with a ruler for missteps in her dancing lessons. Worthless, clumsy girl, you're a waste of time. Maybe this will help you remember to pay attention to my orders. And then she just kind of says she didn't care that she died. Elaine was spared of this. And I literally underlined that and said, always. Honestly, Elaine's been spared of everything. Homegirl, like, sure, she went through some stuff, but it wasn't until the war that she actually went through something crazy. And you know what I was thinking? I wonder if Elaine is actually gonna have like a blowout moment, because on one hand I was like, oh, she's accepting her new life so quickly and she's healed and moved on really fast, but part of me is wondering, like, what if she hasn't moved on? What if she's just trying to be herself and being like, I'm just gonna forget that this happened, and she's gonna lie dormant until something crazy happens and like makes her blow up? I don't know, I was thinking about that. It would make her a little more interesting again, because right now she's kind of just there. Yeah, kind of around.
She's kind of just hanging out with Feyre, and I don't know. I'll be interested to see that, because like part of me is also like, well, she did have that like long moment of time where she was not good.
Sad, but she was still just kind of quiet to herself. Like she
right.
wasn't super.
But I wonder if that did that help her process and. You know, maybe she let herself feel, whereas Nesta just like didn't let herself feel.
That's true. That's true.
And that's why she's now having this kind of like.
Maybe, yeah. So who knows? We don't know.
I could see it either way.
That's true. I could see it either way. I just think it'll be more interesting if she has her like totally big blow up moment. Because right now it's just boring. Again, I'm trying to be like, okay, you're like the soft one. You can.
I can't picture Elaine being like a blowout like Nesta did.
I know, not like Nesta, but I can just if she did have one that was a little more. Yeah. I don't know. Unique, whatever, it would like add something to her. Yeah. But yeah, maybe she did just like she's just very healthy and she moved on from it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Who knows?
She knows how to deal with her mental health.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe. I hate those people.
How do you do that?
Ugh. She's like, tell me how. It's really annoying. The other thing about the paragraph was scar on her left thumb from her grandma.
Oh yeah.
And then but then I just thought this was so interesting. So Nesta had only left flowers for her mother. Whose grave she had visited more often than she cared to admit. So I just wrote that she did have a relationship there. But again, I wonder if it was like an actual relationship or if it was that kind of obsession of, she's this girl that's like her little creature. And so I'm like, did she actually like love her mom hoping for more? Or did she accept her role as her mom's weird little creation?
And was her mom kind of the only person that cared about her? You know, like Nesta probably, she at the time with her mother, she didn't really have a lot of people that like truly cared about Nesta, and so like she probably didn't know what it looked like for people to care about her.
That's true. Maybe it's like that false attachment.
Maybe her mother was like, she thought that her mother cared for her.
Oh, interesting.
And so it was like that was kind of like when you first get into a relationship for the first time. You've never dated. You don't really know what it's like. And so I wonder if maybe that's kind of what Nesta was. So like the one person that she thought cared about her. That's why she.
That's a good point, Justine. Huh, interesting. Because that would explain a little more like why she hated her dad so much until the very. You should be proud of yourself. That was a really good analysis there. I'm impressed. Little golf clap. But then again, I wonder if that's why her relationship with her dad was so weird and she was so torn when he died because she thought, he's just like my mom. He doesn't actually love me, maybe. Yeah. But then he did, and she was like, oh man, and that's what made it hurt more.
What is love even?
Like now she has no parents. Yeah. And she never knew love from either of them. Yeah. Whereas the other sisters kind of did. Yeah. I guess in a way, like I guess their dad was kind of in between at the very end. But interesting.
And then let's see, any more on that page?
No, not that page. The next page, just in the middle. What was it? I could offer it and let you pay it off. Oh yeah, to pay off the like fur thing that she asked about. And then she said it was a generous offer, far beyond the kindness anyone had ever shown Nesta in the human realm. And it's like such a simple thing, but I'm like, just no one's been nice to Nesta ever. It makes me so sad.
And then on the bottom there, I thought this whole story was kind of interesting. Nesta was like, she had been prepared to offer the only thing she had to barter to Thomas if it would have kept Elaine from starving. Would have sold her body to the street to anyone who would pay enough to feed her sister. Her body had meant nothing to her. Nothing. She told herself as she felt her options closing in, Elaine meant everything.
Thank you.
I thought that was so interesting because I was like, well, and then I don't know when she had said this. Maybe it's the next page. I honestly don't remember. Yeah. Maybe I just read it. But she was saying that like she was so angry at her dad. That like
that was earlier.
Earlier. She was so angry at her dad that she wanted him to try, right? But then Feyre ended up like stepping in. So I wonder if Feyre wasn't there to like to do it and not have them starve. Nesta would have.
And again, I knew that from the beginning. Like the reason, and I've been rereading because I'm on Goodreads a lot. I've been rereading people's review on this book and Nesta, and they just hate her. And the main thing, again, the number one thing was, oh, you didn't care that Feyre did blah blah blah. Okay. And again, I'm not discrediting that. Like, yeah, sure, because she's your younger sister, you could have done a little more. Yeah. But when she first said, oh, I almost wanted my father and us to die out of spite to prove something to him, I was like, not a great reason, but I get it. You're all angry. You're all handling this terrible part of your life terribly. But this paragraph discredits everyone else's theory. Like, and I knew that from the beginning. I was like, Nesta would do anything. She would die before Elaine was even hurt by anything.
That's what I'm so interested, though. It's like, why wouldn't she do that for Feyre, though? Like, was it just because, like, their personalities clashed too much? Like, what was it about Feyre that, like, she... Because Feyre is her younger sister, too. So why was it Elaine that she chose to love unconditionally?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they just kind of always had that relationship.
Was she jealous or resenting Farrah for stepping up and being
no, because Farrah said they've always been like that.
I know,
so
that's
I'm assuming...
why I'm so interested. Like, why?
That's just my guess. My guess is like, oh, I guess siblings, they just never clicked. So,
yeah.
And then, but then that's the thing they both share. Like, they both were like, oh, protect Elaine. And maybe that was just in Nesta's head. Like, oh, Farrah can take care of herself, but Elaine can't. Maybe. Like, I don't know. I guess
but
I can't say
like,
for sure.
But also, like, by the point where Farrah was literally paying for them to survive.
Like, out hunting, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Part of me is like, I get that you would do anything for Elaine, but like...
Yeah.
Why Farrah? Why not Farrah? That confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way. I just always assumed, like, oh, they never clicked. Maybe that's one thing Farrah and Nesta kind of share. Like, what if Nesta was like, okay, Farrah, I'm gonna... Like, if she babied her like Elaine, would Farrah even have wanted that, you know?
Probably
like,
not.
That's why I'm assuming
Farrah
they
and Nesta are too similar.
Yeah, they just don't know it. Like, yes, they show Farrah very different, but I'm like, but there are a lot of similarities. And they both at one point kind of said, like... Well, Farrah said it more than Nesta, but she just said, we just never had that relationship. I don't know if it's too late. But she kind of has peace with it. Like, they both seem kind of upset about it. Even Nesta, too, she was like, well, like, that's the new status. It's them two. Or, I guess now I'm overanalyzing it. Or because Nesta just had such a screwed up relationship with her mom. She just had a connection to no one. Yeah. So she just latched on to Elaine maybe because she was Elaine, like, oh, Elaine's the only person that's been good for her.
Too young, didn't know anything. Yeah. And Farrah probably knew more. And
probably.
Older, you probably knew more, like, that was going on in life.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe her and they didn't have that relationship in the beginning, but Elaine did. So Nesta just latched onto that. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. That whole thing kind of, like, intrigues me, though. Like,
yeah, I guess I never thought about that. Why not Farrah and both of them?
I think that's, like, the only issue that I have with Nesta.
That makes more sense, sure.
Is, like, I get the whole thing, whole reasoning behind your dad and whatnot. But, like, I just confused. There's got to be more behind it, like, what happened with you and Farrah. Or if it simply is just you both are too stubborn and... Yeah. So.
But I still just made that point of saying, well, you didn't supply for your family. And I was like, I know. But she would have. Honestly, if Farrah was ever, like, I'm assuming near death. Like, if Farrah genuinely couldn't supply anything for them and she was, like, on, whatever, sick, dying from something... Nesta would have definitely gone out, sold whatever she could have, including herself, to, like, supply for the family.
She probably would not have hunted.
She probably wouldn't have hunted the same way.
All the
used
things.
her other means.
Yeah. She would have used her strengths.
Oh, yeah. But they gave a little sad story of Thomas, kind of.
Wait, I underlined this whole paragraph.
Yeah, read it, go for it.
Okay, 3 days afterward, Nesta broke it off with Thomas. Enraged, he launched himself at her, pinning her against the enormous woodpile stacked along the barn wall. Spiteful whore, he growled. You think you're better than me, acting like a queen when you haven't gotten shit. She'd never forget the sound of her dress tearing. Oh, this part was so sad.
So sad.
Never forget the sound of her dress tearing, the greed in his eyes as his hands pawed at her skirts, trying to raise them as he fumbled with the buckle on his belt. And then when she was like...
Love this. This paragraph's amazing. So
only pure, undiluted terror and survival instinct had saved her. She'd let him get close, let him think her strength had failed, and then clamped her teeth down on his ear and ripped.
I love that. Yeah. I was like, the fact that there's just like this one-eared guy walking around in the human realm, being like, this girl. But no, seriously. I love that. Like, she just had that grit in her for forever.
I think it just explained so much of, like, I mean, there was so much more behind Nesta and, like, her reasoning to not want to, jump in with Cassian and whatnot. Oh, yeah. But I think that was a big... like, reason why she kind of pumped the brakes on, like, her relationship with Cassian. Just kind of, like, I don't know. Just
for sure. I think anyone who suffered, like, any form of abuse, like,
that's
there's
not
a long...
easy to get through.
There's a long recovery period. And there's a long
and that's,
re-earning
like,
trust.
Physical and emotional trauma.
I know, that's a lot.
Like, that's a lot to handle.
And again, that's what breaks my heart, because I was like, she was totally fine going through that for her, like, family, for her sister. Like, she would have done that tenfold and been fine with it. That's what... makes me so. That's why I'm like, I just don't take hate of Nesta. It makes me so sad. I'm like, guys, no, you don't understand. I love her.
Do you have anything else? Actually, that's all I have.
Oh, I just put second to last paragraph. Beyond Cassian, no one had invited her to dine in a long time. She'd given them no reason to.
Oh,
but there it was, an honest, simple offer from someone who had no idea how terrible she was. It was just like, you know, I started the paragraph being like, that's so sweet. So I'm like, oh, heart ripped out of my chest. Like, who had no idea how terrible she was.
Me too. I underline that.
Because it was too good. You were too in the moment. You just had to. And then I think this next paragraph, I feel bad reading so much, but okay.
No, you're good.
Next paragraph was, having lunch with Emery was an indulgence. It was only a matter of time until the female learned more about Nesta, until she heard every horrible thing, and then the invitations would stop. Had she been any better than Bellius, drunk and simmering with hatred for months? If Emery knew, she'd kick her out of the shop too. But for now, neither rumor nor truth had reached Emery, whatever. She said, reach Emery. She said, I would like that. Nesta said and meant it, and it was just made me so sad.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I feel like, again, when you're in this place where you're like, I don't deserve any goodness and indulgence, but sometimes just letting yourself have one, you still feel so guilty about it, but it's like for a moment you just get a taste of it, and it's like, again, in your head you're probably like, oh, it's just whatever, but yeah, it's just that I was like, Nesta, you deserve more. But but it's also good that she's like noticing this about herself, because she's like, was I any better than this guy? So although it breaks my heart, I'm like, oh, this is definitely.
If she never noticed any of that and was never like, if she was always like, oh yeah, I'm much better than all these people,
fine, I'm okay.
They should want to be my friend. Like she wouldn't care. That just shows that she doesn't care at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's not trying. She's not getting better. And,
So yeah, it shows growth, but I'm like, so it's necessary, but.
It's necessary.
I can never forget how necessary it is. Okay, anything on the next page? They just talked about like, oh, I got no man, no marriage or baby making for me. Like, okay,
I thought that was cute. It's nice to meet another female who's not obsessed with marriage and baby making. I just thought that was kind of like yeah, you guys found each other. Isn't
it crazy that girls can like other things than that? So crazy.
What's more to life than that, though?
I know. Hello. All girls do is talk about marriage and babies. We have no other.
Not just babies, but like baby making.
Right. The process. Yeah, that actual baby is gross. No, we just talk about slut and men. That's the role of the woman.
That is the definition of woman.
Ooh, I didn't have anything on this page, but I did the next page.
Okay, go for it. I don't have anything on this page.
I thought it was cute. Their little shared of spices. I don't know, just a funny little detail. They were like, oh, cute.
Oh, is this when Nesta gave Emery the spices, or
not yet?
Later.
Yeah, that's later. But they did talk. This is when they mentioned it, and then talk about her. Her dad or whatever, what he did, and then talked about this was cute. They had a little like, we should travel, see the world. Like they both. That's another thing they shared. But honestly, this was kind of out of pocket for Nesta. But I thought it was so sweet. It's like
Emery kind of like pulled it out of
her. Yeah, she did. She pulled it out of like, do you want to explore? Do you want something more in this life? I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Nesta was like, heck yeah, I do. You know what, I do.
Yeah. How about we both want something more?
Wait, so there's more to this world.
I know. Than this weird being stuck in this house because my sister. Like my goodness. Okay, the only thing I mentioned was I underlined their cousin. They've never mentioned any other family member except this guy. So I underlined him in case he ever came back. Erston.
Oh.
Their cousin. They don't talk about any other family ever.
Well, so I just underlined his name. Any other family,
I was like, Erston. Well, if it's a cousin, I assume there's an aunt and uncle and maybe another cousin.
Wasn't there that aunt that Feyre went to visit?
Yeah, that's probably like his mom, I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah, so see, maybe it won't come back. Maybe it was just a random, here's a random name in history. Yeah. But I was like,
well, the fact that they said a name, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it comes back, so who knows?
But really, she's adding another character into this. I can't keep up.
I'm like, let's calm down. But I'm going to underline it in case it comes back. Yeah. And everyone's like, who is this guy? And then talk about Emery's history, which is also kind of sad and sweet, because everyone has kind of sad history. I know. It's just like, whatever.
They all have sad histories. I think Cassian's horrible, and then you hear this one, and I'm like, this is terrible, too.
Like, does no one have a good life besides Elaine, which is good because I hate her, but
like, can anyone be like born without one of their parents dying, and
or both, or their parents abusing them and hating them?
Seriously, like, can they just be born and love life and
like, Sarah, what's up with the family dysfunction? Okay, do you have something going on in your life we need to talk about?
Are you trying to
are you seeing a therapist?
Your book? Because who does that?
Honestly though, when I write, there's times where I don't want to write a relationship and I'm like, okay, dad's dead. No, literally. I was thinking that recently and I was like, oh, I have this father in her life and a stepmother. But then at this point I was like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of her dad. Should I just kill him off?
Her dad is kind of annoying. Her dad did not say happy birthday to
her.
I
was like, my problems would be solved if he just died. So so you know what, it's fair. I get it. Whatever.
Okay, let's see. Wait, what page are we on?
282.
Okay.
I have one at the bottom. Do you have anything before that?
No, I don't.
Okay, at the bottom, I just wrote that, whatever. Emery was just walking to the table, and she said she moved with an easy grace, like someone confident in her body. And I was like, that's such a cute detail. Because,
where'd she say that?
Right here. Because, like, she never, like, notices stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I bet that's something Nesta's, like, jealous of. She's like, that's so nice.
And yeah, the fact that she notices it is like if Nesta was really confident, she probably would not notice.
Yeah,
that.
no, she'd be like, oh, whatever. But like,
yeah.
But it also makes Emery sound really cool. Like she has a hard path.
Like a badass.
She does. I think she is a badass. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I just like that she's very confident. Oh yeah, and then the next page she mentions Emery's face yielded nothing as battle hardened as Azrael's. So that's why for a second I was like, oh, if they weren't pushing Emery with someone else, Emery and Az would have been cute. Like they kind of push potentially Gwen and Az, not really.
Yeah,
not to spoil anything, but they kind of imply it.
And
but
are they
not
pushing
really.
more in Emery?
Yeah, they're pushing more in Emery. But I was like,
which I'm not happy about.
Nope, don't love that.
Literally don't love that even in the slightest.
Not even a hint.
Not
Literally,
even
don't like it.
Slightly. Like I don't know who I want Emery to be with, but not more.
I don't know who I want Az to be with, but not more. Or
no.
Emery either. Or
no.
I mean Gwen.
Yeah.
Or Elaine.
No.
Actually, maybe Gwen. I don't care. But
Gwen,
not
I can
Elaine.
sort of see.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly,
but I feel like the chemistry's not there.
I could really see, and I know that, like Emery is, she's into women.
But is she? I don't know if she's just
she could be both.
women.
She could be both.
She could
we
be
don't
both.
really. She's kind of like vague. We don't really know.
We'll see. Oh my god!
I could see Emery and Az.
I know. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine like an Emery more Az? Hey, just hinted at enough of these potentials
more just needs to go.
Oh yeah,
she needs to go.
I'm actually like if she does die, I'd be like, oh,
she needs to go. She genuinely is frustrating me.
I feel like she's either gonna become not very good or like no one likes her. I'm sorry.
She's frustrating me for the sole purpose of what she's doing to Az. Like really, you can't tell him.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
I don't get it. Everything she does, I'm like, get out of here.
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. After the break, I am noting this.
Okay.
So that I can bring it up later because I have so much to bring up later.
Okay.
But they went. Cassian went to meet Eris, and then he said Eris had his uses, mostly one, the bubble of heat that warmed them against the chill winds, and they brought up. He just said some fire magic to warm their bones. I don't know why. I just thought that was cute. I'm like, yeah. Oh, like he's like, I hate this guy. And he's like, oh, he's so cozy.
So cozy.
It's like wanting to hate someone. You're like, but get closer to me because I'm cold. Anyway, so they talk. They had their little. They have their little banter and yeah. Oh, Eris can winnow. I don't know. I need to make note of some of these things.
Oh, Eris can winnow?
Yeah, Eris winked before winnowing away. Oh, sorry, I skipped to the very end. Right here, like second to last.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, which I actually did know that because of when Nesta, Cassian, and Tamlin and Eris all met.
Oh
and
yeah.
Then
okay. I'm just forgetting, so I think that's why I'm like trying to remind myself.
Yeah. No, I've been marking it down too though. So far, I think the only one that can't winnow is Cassian.
Well, and like Nesta, obviously.
Right, but I'm not even counting those. I'm not counting them.
Yeah.
Because we already knew that.
Yeah.
But like out of all like the.
I can't wait for our theory time.
Okay. Let's go. 26.
Okay. Let's forget. Chapter 26.
All right, chapter 26.
I was just saying. Okay.
Nesta.
Chapter 26 is going to be a short chapter.
I just want to read what your cliff note is on our outline.
Oh, I just wrote that. Nesta makes him feel better. ... Yep.
Mm-hmm. But you must have just accidentally put in a couple extra periods there.
Oh yeah, that was purely an accident. I wrote it here and I thought it was a doodle. So oops, it was an accident.
Yeah, it's just a doodle.
Oops.
And for some reason I don't really have any underlines, but I know you have a couple. I just have some hearts, and I don't know why I have hearts.
Yeah, no, I have a lot, and where did they come from, man? Actually, I have like this whole.
Is it getting hot?
I have like a whole.
Getting hot?
I have like a whole page underlined. That's
funny.
so weird. Okay, so let me discuss them publicly, and then discuss them more privately.
See, how can you underline and make notes during this?
I told you the second time I read it. The first time I read this, there wasn't a single dent in this chapter.
Literally, I'm going like this.
I love that.
Flipping pages.
I made 0 notes on this when I read it for the first time.
That makes me feel better. Tell me all of your notes.
Well, I'll tell you some, and then I will pause this, and I will tell you more. Okay, so the first one is, so for context, for anyone not knowing this chapter, Cassian comes back from talking to Eris, and Eris was kind of mean to him. He wasn't very nice, and poor Cassian is just having kind of doubts. He's, little self-esteem issues. And Nesta's like, oh, he shouldn't feel this way. So she's like, let me make him feel better.
In all different kinds of ways.
In a few types of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And she enjoys making him feel better.
I need to make him feel better right now. How do I
And you know what? She doesn't need to cook because, hello, the house cooks. Like, maybe he doesn't like back massages.
What's the one thing that I can do?
Yeah, just quickly right now.
Real quick.
Like what's a little quickie thing I can... You know, if she says something, she should just put her money where her mouth is.
Right. That was good.
And thank you. I was thinking about some. Thank you. And so I think that's what she did, if I'm remembering correctly.
That was really good.
Thank you so much.
No, that was really good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
We are good at this.
I'm a writer. My words are so beautiful. I'm just made for this.
Okay.
All right, page 286. Whew, sorry, I just got a little warm there.
I told you.
What's up with the heat? Was Eris just here? It's just
Eris?
so warm.
Eris?
Hello.
Hello.
Make your presence known. Anyways, so the first note I had, first of many, was middle of 286. What did I say?
Now is my time to underline now that I'm more focused.
Like a paintbrush, just kind of. Whatever. She said, I asked Emery to join training. I'm assuming she said no. Indeed, if someone could winnow her, he said sure. She said she could tell when he was... She could tell he wasn't just being short with her. He was so preoccupied with whatever was eating at him that he could barely talk. And I just wrote down that she's like, she knows him. She's starting to notice these things. Because he notices so much about her. Because she's so quiet and like every little thing she does, he kind of points out. But this was just sweet. Like, I like that it's back and forth. It's definitely not one-sided for sure. It's not unrequited.
Yep.
And then she just said, yeah, isn't that a good thing? Why are you so riled? Yep. And then she says in her mind, like, why do you look so battered?
Yep.
And then, yeah, he's just so... I like how he, like, meant, she's like, it's not that he's calling me all this bad stuff. I just hate him. But obviously it is that, like... It's almost like Cassian almost wishes he could be him. Like, I wish I was, like, cool, calm, and collected, but I can't stand... And I think, again, that's where Nessa's relating that, oh, does he feel failure? Does he feel unworthy? Because she knows what that feels like.
That the only reason why he thinks that Eris is, like... his soul is ugly, whatever, like, hates him to his core, is because of what happened with Moore, or do you think there's, like, more to it?
I think that's definitely part of it, because for the longest time... Because
also what irritates me is, like, everyone hates Eris. Like, to their core. And I'm sure he did bad things. Like, I'm sure he deserves some of that. But I think that, like, Moore is letting everyone think that he is just this awful person. Yep. And I just want to know.
And I want to know why he's not correcting it.
I want to know. I want to know everything about that.
I know. It makes me so irritated. But...
like, this is ruining Cassian's mood.
Literally, like... I know that was the main reason for the longest time, but I think now that he has to interact with him, it's now both. It's like, different. Seeing how... fun... Because before, everyone hated Eris because of the thing with
like, I think there's more to it now.
Yeah, I think now there is more to it. And again, it's that he has to work with him. Yeah. He has to do... But then at the end of that paragraph, he just says, maybe that makes me a stupid brute after all. True sorrow filled his face, and enough self-loathing that Nesta rose from her seat. I'll stop there.
To just, like...
like, give a hug, you know?
Rub the shoulders.
Yeah, a little wing rub.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry. Whoa. Did not mean it that way. I didn't. I mean that. Speak for... Anyways.
I love that. You were so calm. Whoa. Like, I just said that. Whoa.
Oh, man, the wine. I mean, the juice is kind of hit me. And, let me see what else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, but then he does say, like, if anyone is going to kill Eris, it will be Moore or me. Which part of me is still kind of like, but it's not as... Honestly, I forget all this time that Cassie and Moore slept together. I forget that all the time.
Me too.
Genuinely. Well, I think she said from the beginning, she's like, I need someone to take it from me or whatever. Yeah. And she said, oh, it would have been as, I think, maybe I could be wrong, but she said it would have been as, but I don't know. She saw Cass first or something? I don't know.
Wait, that's kind of, no, she knew that as it would have meant too much for as.
Exactly. The one thing she did right, I guess.
Yeah, that was the one thing she did right.
She did right.
But, like, you could have chosen, you chose his best friend.
Yeah, but then she basically dragged them both along for hundreds of years. Because let's be real. She was still, he even said earlier, it's like she would always, like, lounge on Cassian and
she still
flirt with Az. Yeah, but, like, less now, he's saying. No, that's why I thought it was weird, remember?
She doesn't flirt with Az anymore, I feel like. But she still lounges all over Cassian.
So that's why I, like, I don't know, I didn't buy that she was just into girls. I was like, maybe she's bi, too, because why is she... Well, did she take that guy to bed?
Helion.
Yeah.
Because of... to show... Because Az got, like, kind of overprotective.
Oh, sure.
Because remember,
but I'm like, is she genuinely into just girls if she did that, or is she like bi or something?
I think she's...
Because that'd be kind of a weird thing to do just out of spite. Like, that's kind of a jerk move.
Well, I think she wanted to... This was such a jerk move, but I think she saw that Az was being overprotective, and she wanted to remind him that it's never going to happen with them.
Such a weirdo. Do not like her.
Yeah.
But the fact that she went all the way just for that, you know?
I know. And now you're messing with Helian's feelings, too. Not that Helian can feel anything. Right. I don't even know. But...
I don't know. But I'm like, use your words, girl. You could just say, hey,
seriously?
Not interested. My goodness.
Okay, and honestly, Feyre, can you just say something? Okay, I know she
Literally.
can't.
No, I know she can't. Calm down. She can't, okay?
But
you're in charge of these people. If you think this will cause peace, maybe just do it.
Like, yeah, but also, I think Mor would literally rip her throat. I feel like that's not Feyre's secret to tell.
It's not her secret to tell.
However...
But I like Az a little more than Mor.
She should be, like...
At least pushing her.
I was just going to say that.
That's true.
She should be telling Mor,
again,
you need to do this, otherwise I will do this, because you're hurting Az. I think that's how it should go down.
No, that's fair.
But she should not say it without Mor.
That's true. No, that's fair, I guess. I'm just kind of angry. I'm like,
no, me too.
But I was like, but also, everyone's so easy to impose on Nesta's life and all the bad things she does. We can't be a little, hey, Mor, how about you either tell this and stop torturing this guy for another 500 years? I know
what needs to happen now.
What?
They need to just get Nesta really angry at Mor one time.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, and then let Nesta do the work.
Bro, I'm sure Nesta would do it even if she wasn't mad. She'd be like, yeah, because again, Nesta's definitely starting to love Az too.
Yeah,
like, as
Nesta
a friend.
would do it for Az.
She'd literally be like, find out and be like, hey, Az, by the way. Like, within a minute of finding out, she'll be like, oh, Az.
Did you actually know that...
She's like, Az, why are you in love with the lesbian? They'll be like, what? Good. Again, in 500 years, they even said...
you can't say your secret in 500
They also
years.
said, oh, they can smell like arousal off of the other fairy. You're telling me no one figured this out until she verbally said it? How good of a secret keeper is this girl?
Seriously.
She's not the shadow singer. She's not good at this stuff.
Yeah.
What even?
Anyways, okay, we could talk about Mor all the time.
How much we hate her.
No, seriously.
Mor and Elaine both deserved each other. That's my end game. Mor and Elaine. He's like, killing him would prove that, they're right about me, which is so sad because see, he's starting to give in this self-doubt too. It's just making me so sad. And then this just super sweet moment that I said broke my heart. Broke my heart. Just this tiny paragraph. Okay. Cassian was good in his soul, in his warrior's heart. Cassian was good in a way Nesta knew most people were not. But then she said, in a way she knew she was not and would never be. Oh my word. Broke my heart. I was like, not only is she like, oh, he's great. She genuinely is like, I will never be as good as him. Like that. I thought was
I kind of forgot she said that line.
Me too. When I read, I was like, whoa.
The chapter that I had recently sort of read, recently read a few chapters after that, or before the girls' night or whatever. The really good chapter. What she said, I'm nowhere near you. Like I don't feel like I deserve you whatsoever. And that makes a lot of sense now too. Yeah. Like her just reiterating that again in her head. Well, yeah,
even when Mor said, she's like, oh, you'll never be good enough for someone like him. Like, she knew that. But
Mor said that too.
I know. I hate her so much. Like, if there's anyone who
really,
could die, and I'd be fine. Yeah, I'm like, wow, thank you so much for pointing out the obvious, idiot.
Yeah, you're just jealous.
Yeah, exactly. She is jealous. See, what's her deal? What's her weird whatever. You know what? I'm not talking about her anymore.
Yeah.
Not worth my time.
She's not worth our breath.
Yeah, when you say her name, take a shot because it's just of more juice.
Of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cup shots. They're the best.
Hey, now we have a video so I can... Anyways, moving on. So now the next pages get really fun.
But did I have anything else? Oh wait, yeah, I had more on the page. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
We're not done with this page.
We just got on a more.
We just she just talked about he was a warrior who would defend what he loved until death. So cute. And she said, she's like, Eris hurt him with what he'd done to Mor, yes, but also with the words so similar to the ones Nesta herself had wielded. So see, at this point, she's kind of more hurt at herself, whatever. Yes. But she just said, the wound lay in Cassian's eyes as raw as an injury. Shame rushed through her, shame and anger and a wild sort of desperation. She couldn't abide the pain in his eyes, teetering on the brink of despair. Couldn't stand the absence of the grinning, winking, and swaggering she knew so well. Like the person she knew and loves, and she doesn't see that. And she's like, we just can't have this, can we? But yeah, I just wrote, she was so used to him, and she literally couldn't stand him being, I wrote down, she couldn't stand him being more like her. Like in her mind space, in what she's going through. She couldn't stand it, so she was like, let's change that. Anyways, when I read that, at first I was like, oh, is she just doing this out of guilt? Like, this is kind of whatever. But later on, let's see. Where do I go?
And next page.
They were... Anyways, she was getting closer to him, and then, but then she said her head wholly clear, and to me that made it a little better, because it was like, okay,
I love
she wasn't in this.
Whenever they have their moments, that is always mentioned. Yeah, head clear.
I know.
Just them two.
Darkness just this gone. Moment, darkness gone. Just the two of them in the moment, and like finally the peace that they both need. Yeah, like in each other. So sweet, but in a good way, not in a way of like escapism. Right. In a way of. Like, no Nesta one else makes me feel calm.
Especially in the beginning, Nesta might have been more like, oh, I'm just escaping. I'm just doing this.
But again, she was with the other guys. Right. That's what she was doing. Right. Because but also she would totally be like drunk to distract herself. But this was,
just totally different.
Her fingers steady, sure. Her head wholly clear.
Yep, her head.
So clear. I'm like, first
of all, imagine my brain when at that part.
Brain, yeah. Yes. What was your brain thinking?
Well, it was just the this part right here.
Oh yeah. I was because they've mentioned stuff like that before, but he's described so. She was like, there was no way to fit it in her mouth, maybe even fit her body. First of all, that does not sound pleasant in the slightest sense. That sounds like the next morning painful. That sounds like I'm gonna need some medical rest. For like 3 business days.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna need to take 2 to 3 business days to rest.
It's like you would think it's like after giving birth your organs have to go back. So yeah, I mean some of these descriptions are
really great.
They're really great, but they're like great. They're like
enormous.
Enormously great. Anything else?
No, Abby, no.
Okay, well this is for you and me. I underlined this and this.
Okay, let me see.
This is just the paragraph. Just read the paragraph.
Okay, I'll read. Okay. Let me just read the page real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just reread the page.
Yeah, silence.
Don't look at me. It's my me time.
Great chapter.
Yeah, because of the writing. Like
the writing was
the description
spectacular.
Is great.
Yep. Yep, okay.
I take a lot of notes from describing something so well you can basically see it. I think that's very talented on Sarah's part.
Yes. Good descriptive imagery. As some might say.
Some might say that, yes.
And as a writer, it's very educational.
Oh, yeah. I will reread it so many times to really make sure I remember just like the style of writing and
how she goes about it. You know, it's just.
And sometimes I forget, and I tab it so I can remind myself.
For educational purposes.
For the education, because you don't learn this stuff in school.
No,
it's only experience.
Right. You don't learn writing in school.
Is that not what I said?
Right. Right. No, we're on the same page.
We are on the same page. Page 290. Actually, as a matter of fact. Which, my only two... God, this is so hard. Oh, wait. Okay, my only line from here is, and that wouldn't do. Not at all.
Wait, let me find that.
Oh, you find it.
Okay, I got it. I really got it. Okay. What's your next one?
Everyone's got it, yeah. Oh, but he's like doesn't want to displease her.
Oh yeah.
He's being careful. But she did not care for that.
Didn't want to hurt her.
Emotionally.
As they're running in,
like emotionally, all that exercise, you can really pull a muscle.
You can pull a muscle. But you're right though, emotionally too. Just like she already has a lot of emotional trauma.
Yeah, she has a lot going on that to put more in there would be... Yo, I can do this all day.
Okay, we need to move on.
Okay, and then at the very end, just put, he unleashed himself. Like his thoughts, you know? Like...
His heart.
His heart, yes. He released all of his heart onto
emotions,
her.
Yes. He's really good at doing that.
He's so good at it.
Okay. Let's see.
I just love how should I say this? They're already so emotionally open at this point.
Right.
But he still wants to know more.
That heart is completely open for her.
It's open and full?
Yes.
And big. His
enormous,
big heart.
Enormous heart.
His enormous heart is there for her.
Yeah.
And he just wants more.
Yes.
He's like, I want to be inside your heart.
Yes. Your heart.
And that's why I want this conversation to end.
Right.
I want it to be finished.
Inside the heart.
Inside you or heart. Yes. Okay, great. We're getting there.
This is just the best thing ever to ever exist right here.
Okay, which part specifically? I mean, all of it,
okay.
yes.
Well, all of it, yes.
Yes.
But when as
oh my word. It was too good. The fact
we were having such an emotional discussion.
Yes.
And
it's just silly. It's just funny.
Just came in and said good evening.
It was also the
whole
worst
was so
thing
good.
to
I
say.
couldn't even this part I could not underline anything. I just like
talk about a talk blocker, you know, like when you're talking to someone and someone else ruins it, you're like,
emotional conversation block.
Yes, like I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Cassian wasn't able to keep the bite out of his tone, he met his brother's too aware stare and silently conveyed every bit of annoyance he felt at this timing. Azrael shrugged, surveying the food the house brought him. Bro, homeboy came in, sensed and smelled everything went on, and he's just like,
sat down
dinner time?
At that table and had dinner. And the best part, as if he knew exactly what he'd interrupted and took his chaperone duties very seriously.
He's like, okay, I still have a job to do. You might too, but I'm just gonna make sure I do my job.
Okay, but that literally, I was really mad at Az for a second. Like, I thought this whole thing was so funny. But I was really mad at him, obvious reasons.
Obviously.
Like, I just wanted them to open up their heart.
Yes, open up as much as they can to each other. Open up everything.
But it was really funny when, let's see, Cassian said thanks for that.
Yep.
And then whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Az said, don't show your hand all at once, Cass. Like, he was, like, actually, like, looking out for him.
That was kind of cute. I didn't notice that. Oh, my word.
Yeah, he was looking out for him.
Oh, my word.
And then he said, save something for later. You know, all of his, like...
Right, because...
Wait to say, like,
when you trauma dump on someone, the conversation, it's a lot to take.
It's a lot. I mean,
not everyone...
Nessa can't... You know, she's been through a lot of emotional stuff, so she can't take it all.
Not everyone can take it all at once.
Right, at once.
It's hard to take it all at once.
All that stuff inside your heart.
Yeah, so. And when you put more in there, it's just like, it's almost too much. So you need a break every once in a while.
I was really mad at Az at first because I was like, you jerk, go away. But then when he said that, I was like, okay, you're kind of a good friend.
No, I'm like, oh.
Because Cassian is like, blinders are on.
A lot of things are said. But yeah, actually, I didn't even notice that. That's kind of sweet.
It wasn't just him like being a jerk because he didn't want, you know,
just where is that?
He didn't want that.
Yeah.
But like he genuinely was just like, slow it down.
Yeah, I thought that was just banter. Him being like, oh, like thinking of something to say. So, I didn't see him being like, you need to take this seriously.
Yeah,
and calm down your conversation, your manness, because men just love to talk so much.
Right.
But sometimes there's no time for anything else.
Yeah.
But now that you mentioned that, so Az must have known at what point in the conversation they were at. So where was homeboy? I mean, Mr. in the Shadows. Where was he hanging out?
I hope, in my brain.
Because I don't like when people eavesdrop.
No, in my brain he was outside, and he could sense it.
Oh. In my brain, he could
smell the really great conversation they were having.
Don't you love when you can just smell the conversation?
Yeah. Maybe he could hear from like the window or something.
He could probably hear.
Maybe the door was like slightly cracked open, like the outside, the front door.
Yeah, and you can hear the conversation.
Maybe the house told him. Let's say that.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sticking with that.
I'm okay with that.
I'm sticking with homeboy wasn't in the shadows watching this happen, and then interrupting. He was outside.
Okay, but
because he trains at night upstairs sometimes. Remember?
Let part of their conversation finish.
Yes, part of it did finish, like halfway, like half of it finished.
So like he didn't leave the conversation empty-handed. He did let Cassian have something
from the conversation. chapter I've ever had to do in all sets of the chapter 27.
That was a cute little clink.
That was the cutest clink. I keep forgetting to drink. Like I need more. Man, that was so complicated.
Chapter 27. Gwen. Gwen?
I say Gwen, but I've heard people say Gwen, which I don't love because it's not.
I say Gwen, and then when I said it, that sounded really weird to me.
Yeah.
So, she begins training.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did she already train?
She just trains. I just said continue training.
Okay.
So they continue. Both of them now are training.
Yes, they're both training, and there's some cute friendship moments in this one.
Mm-hmm. That's what I put. My first note was the next page, 295. It just said that they're training. They say you're going up to Windhaven. Nesta asked Cassian, and Gwen bade them farewell. Blah, blah, blah. She had no regrets about what she'd done in the dining room. I mean, the conversation they had.
Yes.
Because, you know, when
she had no regrets what she said in the dining room.
Yes, what was spoken. Because when you're in a moment like that, how can you regret that? That's such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, like she was vulnerable, but she did not regret it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she, at the lower, when she said, "But standing here alone with Cassian." Okay, I didn't realize completely like what it said afterwards.
Where is this?
But a couple sentences under what you underlined.
Oh yes,
So
the conversation still lingered in her mouth because they had just spoken of it.
The words still lingered in her mouth.
On her tongue, yes.
Branded on her tongue.
Yep.
Okay. But I originally just read the "but standing here alone with Cassian," and I was like, oh, that's a cute moment.
Actually, I think I literally did too. I was like, oh, and I was like, like, and a recoil.
It was literally like, oh.
I'm like, that's so oh my word, the next page? Okay. I love this. He just said, you know, Gwen's doing well. She's a nice girl. I like her, Nesta admitted. And he said, I don't think I've ever heard you say that about anyone. And although she like rolled her eyes, whatever, but I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like the fact
really
that he notices, the fact that she actually said that about someone, like big step for Ness here. I love it.
Something so simple as I like her.
I know.
Yeah.
So cute.
Let's see. Oh, this is when she gave
the spices.
Mm-hmm. And Nesta had informed him that the house gave it to her, but she'd asked the house for these items, intending them to be brought here. She said it's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cute.
So cute. I like how she almost was confused. She's like, Nesta gave you this?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but
like,
there's...
Nesta?
She's like, the one we both know?
Yeah. And then when Nesta's sneaky because she says Nesta says you can thank her by showing up to training tomorrow morning.
So cute.
Mm-hmm. At the very bottom, when she had said she'd always been Elaine's guardian or favorite sister or cauldron maid. So I thought that was kind of like, she's just like a different person. She's Nesta around Emery and Gwen.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put that same idea. I highlighted on the next page. She said, with Gwen, he wondered whether Nesta liked the girl because with her, she was simply Nesta. Perhaps she felt that way around Emery too. To be able to be yourself around people so unashamed is so precious. Because to me, I'm like, I have a lot of friends. Like, I have a lot of people I like. But people like you, where I'm like, I feel like I can genuinely say or do anything like dumb and ridiculous. And even if I hate it and I like can apologize later, I can still be myself around you. Like, I just don't have a lot of people like that. I'm like maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most. Like, there's just always like something 2. Holding. Yeah. Literally.
You.
Yeah.
Counting you and me.
It's you and me.
That was great.
I was like, man, he's upset again.
Let's see. And then... okay, but even a little bit farther when she'd said it had been comfort, given in the only way she knew how.
Through conversation. Because that's always made her feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
She's like, I would love to help you out there, bud.
Yeah. Oh, and even, I forgot about this part at the very top, kind of going back a little bit, when she'd said, had she gone into Galarius night after night, not only to distract and numb herself, but to be around people who didn't know the weight of all she carried.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I underlined that too. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who didn't know the weight.
The weight of all
again, and I think that's like her searching for people who didn't care. Yeah. Because technically they didn't, but not in the right way. Like in an awful way. But
and there's just so much more like, it's so much more fulfilling when you surround yourself with people who know the weight of everything that you carry.
Literally. And, again, they just keep choosing to be there for you and love you for it. And the end of this chapter was, and there stood Emery. So cute.
That was really cute. I was so excited. I had like a little squeal at the end there.
I know, me too. I'm like, hearts and all this stuff. Okay, look at us.
Wow, we're cruising.
I know. Chapter 28. Little double.
All right. Okay, these are your Cliff Notes. Hey. Training with the girl.
The girls.
The girls. A freaking Reese.
Freaking Reese. So done.
And Cassian for the save, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah. Did you not guess that? I mean, you did.
For the Ave. Cassian for the Ave.
Cassian for the Ave.
First page, the only thing that I underlined was, was this when Emery was telling her story about, like...
Later on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. When he said many of the key muscles can be impacted when someone's wings are clipped.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting, because I was just like, oh, this is going to be, like... To be like tougher for her to train, right? Like, or at least just different for her to train.
Yeah, for sure.
And he knows that.
He is like he's always so considerate about it all. Oh, yeah. So cute. Yeah. Yeah, I just said Cassian spoke with such gentleness that Nesta, balancing on one leg, nearly fell into the dirt next to Emery. She's like, he's just so nice and gentle to my friends.
I know.
So cute.
And then, but on the second page, when she said that when Cassian asked like which of the healers clipped you, and she said my father did it himself.
He did it himself, and she fought him, and he made it worse. And
that is just brutal.
I know. Oh, I just brought at the end that Emery, because Nesta was like, okay, I think, again, she just sees her need and she's like, okay, this is probably too much of a conversation for her. So Nesta interrupted. And then Emery threw her a grateful look and Nesta offered her a slight smile in return. But that's what they need. They need each other and they need understanding. And that's what they offer each other as friends. And that's so sweet.
Exactly. Okay, I love this part when she was like, do you like to read? And then Emery was like, I live alone up in the mountains. I have nothing to do with my spare time except work in my garden and read whatever books I order through the mail service. And in the winter, I don't even have the distraction of my gardening. So yes, I like to read.
I cannot survive without reading. Who can?
I was like,
I could never go back. Honestly,
you made me stop reading this book. And I had to go read a different book because I couldn't handle it.
I'm sorry. I just want you to read it with me.
No, I get it. I
know.
But I had to distract myself with a different book. I know. Plus, I looked at my reading goal on Goodreads, and I'm only one book ahead, and I want to be farther than that. So
that's good. I'm already a few books ahead. I'm very proud of myself.
I know. I used to be 6 books ahead, so I needed to start a new book so I can.
I'm telling you, do audiobooks too. They help me a lot.
I know. I'm going to
get Libby and do all that stuff.
Okay. So I loved that.
Yeah, and I just love their moments of like sharing book. I'm like, what a friendship candidate event. I like this book and I like this book. So cute.
And then I underlined, I don't remember why, but I'll read it. She said, Emery gasped so dramatically that Cassian muttered something about sparing him from smut-obsessed females before heading farther into the ring.
So cute. I love that.
Anything else on this page?
No, at the very top of 303 then. Nesta waited for Gwen to refuse, but the priestess smiled and said, I like that.
Yeah, that was cute.
I just like how, again, they're offering things to each other, and they're all receptive of it. Like, at first they were all kind of hesitant with all of this, but I feel like now that they've jumped in, it shows me that kind of friendship of like, oh, I'm now in, but I'm all in. Yeah. And it's like, that's how I see our friendship. They're now all in. They now all just really want this to work with each other. And it's so sweet because they're offering things to each other and they're meeting each other where they're at. It just
they have like similar hobbies, similar like work ethics, like,
and they're willing to learn more about each other. It's just so sweet. I love the friendship written here.
Reese.
Freaking Reese.
Yeah, Reese came. Why did he come? I forgot.
Take Emery.
Okay. Yeah. I just love when he was like Nesta and she was like Roseanne.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's like just smiling. So I'm like, hi, nice to meet you guys. Nesta.
And then she's like,
Reese. I do love that. Honestly, I hope one day in the future they can be the super like sarcastic siblings. Like that would be so sweet.
I hope that they do.
Oh, me too.
I think that would be.
I do. As annoyed as I am at him right here, I hope that like they can develop a relationship where she's the grumpy, Cassie's the sunshine, but they like raise their kids together and they're all just like this cute like harmony, right?
Can we have a book like that?
Cute.
Please.
Literally need it. Like if I don't have if I don't have Nesta as a mom,
Sarah
I don't want it.
Does not write this book. You need to write that.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Challenge freaking accepted.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Literally would be so
just,
quick.
Like
I would do that for you, Justine. I would just write that book for you. Yeah. I'd be like, here, Justine.
That would be closure.
Good.
Yeah.
I will happily do that. No
okay. And
hopefully she does it. So
she better.
I'm like, Sarah, you're getting paid for this. Okay. I'm doing this freelance, buddy.
Oh my goodness, I would love that. Okay.
But I just love how Cassian is literally and figuratively next to her side. He's like, Cassian clamped a too friendly hand on her shoulder, his grin unfaltering, blah, blah, blah. And then she even said, she's like, little princeling doesn't like her with his friend.
Yes, I love that.
And then the fact...
into Cassian.
Yes. So cute, honestly. No, I like how she's kind of like,
enough for Reese to know.
Yeah, you don't like me with him?
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that he's like, I don't know how I feel about this, but he like asks to go inside her mind, and I don't know. Like, I know he does that out of like just like
respect.
Yeah, respect and just honor, whatever.
Just, like...
But can he to Nesta? Because I thought they said that Nesta was the one person who like they couldn't get in. I could have sworn, like, even when she was a human, Farrah was like, I couldn't read her or her face or her walls were up.
Like Tamlin couldn't get into her.
Yeah, maybe Reese is different. Maybe he can.
Reese is different because...
Yeah, but so is Farrah, and I thought she said she couldn't into Nesta's either.
She couldn't?
I thought it was always like them requesting.
No, she can get in. She did get into Nesta's.
But did Nesta give her permission, or did she go in? That's what I'm saying. Like,
she said something to Nesta in one of my recent chapters, I'm pretty sure. Because she was like, I remember Nesta being like, I forget that Farrah's Demonte, whatever. Or maybe that was Cassian that said that. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'm just trying to think back now. I actually don't remember now if Nesta always gave permission or if they can, without her permission, go in. Because I could have sworn that was the one person they couldn't. That's what scared them. They're like, whoa, we can't get in her head. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I could have sworn that was it.
You're probably right. I don't remember, though.
Yeah. And then top of this page is, that's when I was like, oh, that's literally, I think when I wrote down, oh, Reese was, again, and this breaks my heart. And honestly, even from Reese, this was, again, another low blow that I kind of didn't expect.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, this annoyed me beyond anything he's done so far. Like, yes, like, little things have annoyed me, but this was the one where I was like, seriously? Yeah. Like, seriously.
When he said you would treat Gwyn with kindness and respect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what? He's like, you are to do, like, he literally already was like making assumptions about her, this and this, and was like, you better do this. Jumped down. So then Cassian stayed on Nesta.
Cassian's arm remained around Nesta, and his thumb moved over to her shoulder.
Oh, it's later, so I'll come back in a minute. But on the bottom of page 305, Reese said to Cass, like, this is an interesting development. Cass said, I could have done without you giving Nesta a mental warning. He's like, how'd you know? I noticed the way she tensed, and I know you well, brother. You saw Gwyn and thought the worst of Nesta. So he knew that immediately. And he said, she treated her and Emery with kindness. And he said, that's what pissed you off? He said, and I wrote, thank you, Cass. This is so necessary. Yeah. And Reese needs to freaking hear this. He said, I'm pissed off that you can't seem to believe even one good thing about her. That you refuse to freaking believe one good thing about her. What is necessary? Like, was it necessary to bait her like that? Like, yeah, you weren't just mentioning this in a way of, oh, Nesta, can you please, like, be good to these people who you literally brought here, who are literally your friends? Yeah. No, he just assumed the worst.
Yeah, why would she bring them there and just bully them?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I just want more people to torment.
I did like when Reese said, I'm sorry, I will. Like, I like that.
Me too.
I like that.
That he's open to correction.
And Reese all, they hold each other accountable.
They do. I love that.
And they all listen to each other.
Yeah. No, I do appreciate that. Because if he didn't say that, I literally would have hated him.
But then I liked when Reese added, did you really feel you had to put your arm around her shoulders to restrain her?
I know. I was like,
because at first I was like, I thought that was kind of
random. Me too. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh, did he just like want Reese to kind of like know, hey, there might be something like with us or something like that? But then when Reese said that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot.
He's like, you don't trust us, not kill each other. And he's like, nope,
not even in the slightest.
Yeah, the only thing I missed was before that, because I jumped ahead, but on 304, so Cassian's arm remained around Nesta, and his thumb moved over her shoulder, an idle, reassuring caress, whether he knew of or sensed her silent conversation with High Lord, he didn't let on. But it's like, oh, he just little moments really like that. Like, oh. And then at the end of the break at 305, a vast, vibrant world. Maybe these lessons will make me a little less scared of it. Nesta offered a tentative smile. Sounds like a good enough reason to me. I don't know why. Like, when I reread this a couple days ago, I just kind of got teary-eyed. I was like, oh, like, that's a good enough reason to just not be scared of the world. It's just so cute. Like, I love that. Yeah, okay, so 306, anything else there?
307, though. I thought it was really funny at the top.
Oh, yeah, I went, lol.
I don't know what you two have been doing in this house, but it reeks of conversation.
Yes. He's like, man, this place reeks of a bunch of talks.
He said, I told Az playing chaperone would be useless.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, moving along. Cool. Chapter 29. Maybe
we're gonna get to 31.
Oh, good. I mean, we're kind of pushing it on time, but I don't care. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
With or without.
How much time are we on?
Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm an hour 15, but we had like a 5-minute convo over and over. Yeah. So. But I don't care if I need to split this. I love this episode.
Chapter 29.
Yes.
Lots of clip notes here.
Yes.
Steps. Failure. Inner circle discuss Elaine. Is it scrying?
I say scrying. Okay.
Yeah. Training. Meryl. Scary person. Scrying attempt. Nightmare.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
And death.
Yes. So much of this. This is the chapter I knew would take it.
First sentence. Nesta made it to 3,000.
I know. Girl is thriving on her steps.
She's on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
I underlined this. I said, the dream had been the same, her father's face filled with love and fear, then with nothing as he died, the crack of his neck, Hybern's sly, and then cruel smile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, no, this whole page I kind of was like, this was all great, but right after, she basically said she'd been surprised to find herself wishing for the company, surprised to find that the silence of the dining room pressed on her.
Yeah.
So she's almost like,
it's been a while.
Yeah, like, even though she's kind of starting to give into the silence over the anger, it's still kind of like, but I miss him. It's kind of cute. Yeah. Then no one had any obligation to include her at all, or the desire to. Yeah, that made me sad.
Yeah. But, like, still, even on the next page, like, she could see her father behind her closed eyes, felt every flash of horror and pain and fear she endured during those months surrounding the war. She'd failed every task they'd ever given her. So I think, like, the dread trove probably terrifies her because of how much fear of failure she has. Yeah, that's just that. I had, like, that paragraph underneath that she, again, this fear of failure just resonates. I love this. Yep. That she'd failed every task they'd ever given her, had failed to stop the wall from being blasted apart, failed to save the Illyrian Legion from the cauldron's incinerating blow. But then I noted this. Nesta shut down the train of thought. So she stopped. Yes. She didn't let it go on. But I think it's so normal that, like, these thoughts are gonna come in waves.
She already knows. Yeah.
They're gonna come in waves, and so I think it was really relatable that, like, she's not just gonna one day be like, oh, I'm never
they're gone forever.
I'm never thinking of my dad's cracked neck and him dying and whatever. Like, it's all gone. Like, you're gonna have good days, and then there's gonna be that one day that just creeps in, and it's gonna all come back flooding back again. So I thought that was very realistic.
Yeah, no, I did love that. But I did love just, like, the idea of stopping it. Because it's like, you can control your thoughts, and you can stop them from getting worse. Right. Like, yes, there are moments where, like she even said, she just let everything envelop her and take over, and it was terrible. Yeah. But it's like, people who often go to dark places, I think that's such a good area of practice, is like, learn to stop the thoughts from getting too much. Right. Because the more you let it, the more it's going to come.
Thoughts are still coming back.
Exactly. You can acknowledge them and let them go.
This clearly shows how much she's grown.
Yeah.
Because
already.
She's learning to cope with it in different ways. So.
And then something thudded next to her. It was a glass of water. So cute. And then a cool breeze and everything. Oh my word. Okay, I noticed this on the page before. It said, her panting echoed off the red stone. Red? I was thinking this, like...
The house is red?
The stairs are.
Oh, the stairs are...
Echoed off the red stone, so the walls, right?
Which also, by the way, I was reading the ending chapter, some of the, like, the past chapters I read. It said she's gonna go on the outside stairs. So it's outside. But there's a door at the end of it.
What?
Yes, there's a door at the end of
That's
it.
right, there was a door.
So I think...
What the fuck are these stairs?
This is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So
I'm thinking stairwise.
It's the stairs are off the dining room.
Yeah, like a hallway. I'm thinking like archway. Okay.
So I'm thinking there's a dining room.
Okay.
And then you walk kind of like your guys' sliding door here. But instead of like it goes out to the patio, it goes out to the stairs. And in the stairs, it's round and it's circular.
Okay.
And it's red stone now, apparently.
Yeah.
Red stone, and it's 10,000 steps down.
Spiraling, okay.
Spiraling. There's a door at the end.
So weird.
Kind of like a
I'm supposed to protect them from anyone coming
lighthouse. Kind of like a lighthouse, you know, the spiraling stairs. And then
a lighthouse would make sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm visualizing.
Yeah. I'm thinking the stairs more like dining room, a hall that's going there, and like a hall that's going there. So it's like at the end of a hall. Because I remember she said she like came up the stairs once, she like ran to him. So I'm thinking, okay, little hall. Yeah. I'm thinking dining room, hall to upstairs, and then hall to downstairs. So it's like
something okay. Like that. I think we're getting there.
I think we might actually know what these stupid stairs look like one day.
Right.
Talk about the scrying. She said bad things happened last time. The cauldron looked at me, which is I can't endure it. Terrifying. Risk it. Not even for this. Ugh. Yeah, her body locked up. Like it physically made her just kind of. With each step, she could have sworn she tasted disappointment in the air because the house was like, try. Oh, it's just so sad.
Do it. Yeah, just try.
Next one. Oh, this is kind of random. It said healing is a last resort for what was it again? Something about the courts.
What was it?
Oh, they're gonna ask him about the trove, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I underlined this just because, again, the way it was worded was interesting. Maybe it's nothing, but again, my little righty senses kind of popped. So it said, Elaine had already departed with Feyre, claiming she had to be up with the dawn to tend to an elderly fairy's garden. Cassian didn't exactly know why he suspected this wasn't true. There had been some tightness in Elaine's face as she said it. Normally, when she made such excuses, Lucian was around, but the male remained in the human lands with Jurian and Bassa. Elaine, girl, what's she doing? Or was this like hinting at something with the baby?
Yeah, let me read that again.
But that wouldn't be...
Oh, okay, that's right. That's why I underlined this, because I was trying to remember why I underlined it.
Yeah, like that's so out of pocket and weird.
Lucian was normally around.
Yeah, okay. But it's just... So, what? I know. I think I'm going to come back for a potential theory moment for this, because like I said, my little writing senses are popping up, and I'm like, interesting. This is where I think Amren starts kind of like pushing her, which she literally pushes her. She's like, you have to do this and do it now.
But then Cassian was like, but Nesta should.
I know.
Because there's an innate darkness to the dread trove that Elaine should not be exposed to, but Nesta should.
Thank you. I thought that was so
Cassian
important.
Has been
like without Cassian, Nesta, I don't even know where she'd be. I don't even know how they would have treated her.
No.
Like right now, he's the only one in the inner circle protecting her, and everyone else is being somewhat terrible to her. And at least, like, even though he knew she was the only one to do this.
Yeah, I think Feyre defends her the second.
Going through her own stuff, like, she doesn't know everything going on with her sister, and sister doesn't want her there. So I really don't blame Feyre for anything at the moment. But it was definitely like, but no one else is, like, I think maybe Az would have eventually. Yeah. But Cassian's literally like, why are we protecting everyone but Nesta?
No,
literally.
Seriously.
They're like, what's the last resort? And they're like, Nesta. And he's like, no, like my girl. Like, it's so cute.
Well, if you think about it, like, would Rhys let Feyre do that?
Exactly. None of the guys would want their women to do that. But they're all like, but Rhys can do it.
Rhys would not want her to do that, but he would let her do that.
If she's Feyre would push. Really,
Feyre would not.
That's true.
Feyre would not let him
stop her.
Yeah,
the only thing I said at the bottom was, she threw a nod toward Az, and Az said, was Az talking? I don't know who's talking, but they said, including Elaine, who is more than capable of defending herself against the darkness of the trove if she chooses to. Don't underestimate her. So I said, we'll see. I like that she's being stood up for too, a little bit. So I was kind of like, over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I wrote. So Amren is Rhys's second in the court. Remember, we didn't know her role was. We didn't know Amren's role.
Oh, but she still is. She's
it says right here, second in the court.
Yeah. And then when Cassian said, "It's not right to wield Elaine as a threat to manipulate Nesta into scrying," but then when I noted that Amren said, there are harsher ways to convince Nesta, boy.
Yes, I underlined that too. I was like, this is the first time she said boy now.
She always...
It's just weird.
It's weird.
I just can't let it go. To me, it's too weird, and I just need to know why. Maybe.
She's not human.
No, but she's like not what she was. She's now acting just high fae.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know we mentioned like maybe it's just her new way of talking or trying to like see them as differently. But it's just making me feel weird.
The next sentence when Cassian was like, "You're a fool if you think threats will make her obey you."
So cute. I love that. And okay, midway through. Yeah, okay, so they literally said she was mortal in the way that high fae were mortal. So she's now whatever.
And then was this Cassian that says, "I don't like it"?
Yeah, because right before they said, if we need to manipulate her into scrying, we will. They've literally said it.
Yes,
They've already manipulated her so much. I mean, at least they're acknowledging it now. I love that.
I
love that he stood up for himself.
You just have to shut up and do as you're told. But then I liked when
yes, thank you.
Varian said, "Haven't we talked about this, about being nice?"
Literally. I was like, thank goodness someone's freaking leashing her. And gosh, she's so... It's in the bitter barn.
She is in the bitter barn.
About being nice. I like the little... Nice. They're like, come on. Talking about the books is so cute. Yeah, so Gwyn, who had arrived to training.
I was literally reading that sentence and I was like, what the heck does this mean?
Same. Okay, so now the girls are training, talking about the books. And so Gwyn, who had arrived blushing the next morning and told Emery that if this book was considered tame, then she could only imagine the content of others. This is literally my life right now. Yeah. Like, I show people ACOTAR and they're like, oh, those are so inappropriate. But I saw this post of this girl saying, she's like, I don't consider ACOTAR smut. And she gave like statistics. She's like, technically the smuttiest book is this one. And she said, less than 5% of this book has smut. And I was like, oh.
Seriously.
But then I read one book that was slightly considered more smutty. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, people think this is bad. Now that my reading experience is expanded, I'm like. No,
seriously. And then when she said Nesta woke up on the fourth morning and found herself excited to see them again.
Oh, so cute. I put hearts.
And then this is when Meryl learned about Nesta swapping the book.
This was such an important but kind of silly moment.
Yeah.
Which, also I underlined Gwen's real name, or full name, said Gwyneth Berdara. I don't know, we haven't heard it before.
That's right.
So I was like, cute. Yeah, I meant nothing by it, Meryl, blah, blah, blah. I like how... I don't know why I laughed laughed so hard at this. So Nesta's like, oh, I'm done with this. And she said, we're busy, clear off and let us work in peace. I said, someone gasped from a level above. Can you imagine this intense moment? Someone just goes, I know, they're like, girls, look, someone's fighting her. So cute. So yeah, I just thought this whole fight, everything. Oh, but then the next page, this was when I was like, oh, Nesta, I get it. Said Nesta let enough of her power simmer to the surface that she knew her own eyes glowed, let it crackle even as she ignored its wild, unholy bellowing.
Yes.
She basically puts Meryl in her place. Thank goodness. Like, she does it in a way that's not terrible.
She needed it.
I know. Like, get through it, Meryl. Let these people...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then we learned a little bit more about Gwen being part nymph and all this stuff,
yes.
which is kind of cool. And she said, like, her bones are slightly more pliant than ordinary high face.
And then...
Yeah, learn about the Great Right history.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Which is so terrible. So, like, yeah, her mom participated in that Great Right. Is that the thing that... Yeah, where like, Tamlin went out to, like, sleep with a woman? She said her mother...
No, that's the blood right.
No, the blood right is the one that go to the mountain.
Oh, that's right.
Which I don't know why both things are called right, whatever. But she said when she was of age, and we and my sister were the result of that sacred union with a male stranger.
That's right.
This is so weird. So at first, they mentioned that it was like the guy goes out and finds a girl. But I didn't realize the goal was to like impregnate her. Because think about it. What if Tamlin got someone pregnant? What if there's just a little Tamlin baby we don't know about? I don't know. Crazy. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, how many of these rites has he participated in?
What if it's, I don't know, like, one of the inner circles? What if he did it with one of the inner circles?
Well, no, it was in his, like, spring court.
In the spring court.
Well, but they were all there, though. Like,
right. Reese was in there. Reese was there.
Interesting.
What if it...
No, that's too much.
What?
I was thinking, what if it ever happened to Moore?
That's literally what my
really?
thought was. Because... What if Azriel was there and Azriel was being overprotective and Moore wanted to be like, I'm going to show you.
She would totally do that. She'd be like, let me go in my little cave and do a little something with the... She would. Oh, I hate her so much. Ugh.
She did it with Helion.
That's why I hate her. God. Freaking Moore.
Okay.
Hey, we're not supposed to be talking about her? Just seems it's clearly your fault.
Wait, that is like kind of mind-boggling though. If that's overstretching it, I think.
It is, but I could see that.
But it could happen.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But is it just his court that does it, or do other courts do it too? Because if other courts do it, I could see it just being like a thing. Like, what if there's like a bunch of babies out there no one knows about because they're freaking sleeping with women in caves? Like, what do you expect?
I want to say that it was like a spring court thing.
I think so too. I don't remember for sure if they mentioned it or not.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, neither. Okay. Bottom of this page, I just said, she can try. Nesta says mildly, it'd be difficult to make it any worse.
But then also a little bit above when Gwen said, my twin had the webbed fingers of the
Oh, that's
mist.
true.
I don't. Like, she had a twin.
I know.
So sad.
So sad.
Let's see. And then...
Oh, yeah, she said, Meryl will make your life a living hell. She's like, well, it'd be difficult to make it any worse. Yeah, that's the part where I was whatever. Just at the break, I said, Gwen smiled slightly. Next time, perhaps I'll have the courage to do it myself.
Oh, yes.
But she looks up to her. That's so sweet. I love that.
They're helping each other with their confidence and their courage.
Oh, love it. Girl power.
Go you.
Yes.
And then more priestesses are coming, right?
Because of that. Oh, because of that. I love it. Let's see. 3 pieces be pretty. The confidence. Who was this? Oh, she was talking about Gwen. She said that she had emerged into a beauty to rival Meryl or Moore. So I guess Meryl and Moore are apparently like the beauty standard. And Gwen is giving them a run for their money.
Because I'm just like...
Literally. The picture I saw, like the one I sent you, I was like, okay. But again, she's blonde apparently. So.
Yeah.
I underlined Deirdre's name just because I was like, I don't know. They gave her a cute little history that I thought, that's interesting. Her, I was like, because remember they were like, I guess we're going to talk about this more theory-wise, but I was going to talk about how, like, there's a lot of potentials for Az, and I thought she might be one because she has scars, too. So that might be something they could share together. Like,
But she has, like, so many different characters that it's just, like...
I know. I think, honestly, she's giving herself that option, because she's like...
she's giving that option.
I honestly, like, what if she doesn't even know who she wants with Az? She's just like,
we'll see.
I have a couple characters.
But stop being so mean to Az.
I know, like, please give him a break, please.
But I liked when Cassian... So... One of the girls, I think, said, we hope we're not too late.
Yeah.
All of them looked to Nesta, but she wasn't the leader here.
Yes.
So she threw Cassian a glance, and he gave her a shrug, as if to say, I'm just the instructor. Like, he kind of just, like, stepped down, let Nesta have this moment.
He didn't power over her. He's like, this is your thing, and I'm just here to help. So sweet.
So
I love
cute.
it so much.
And then...
And then Susan's crying. The only cute moment I had was, the next page, I'm asking them to be brave, to work hard, face their fears, yet I'm not doing the same. So she was saying how I'm training these priestesses, I need to be stronger. But then Cassian said, no one accused you of that. Aww. And then she said, I don't need anyone to say it, I know it. And I might fear this scrying, but I fear being a cowardly hypocrite even more. It's better to be scared of something than to always be a coward.
That's so true.
Like, we've been talking about this so much. That was such a perfect, God was like, by the way, here. And I'm like, oh, good point, man. Thank you. That was so good.
Like we needed to hear
I
that.
definitely needed to hear that. I need to be with them.
I might fear this,
but I fear being a cowardly hypocrite even more.
Exactly.
So good. Talked about how she tried a few times, and yeah, she closed her eyes, lifted it. Her swallow was loud to her ears. She'd failed at everything, but she could do this. She'd failed her father, failed Farah, failed her mother, failed Elaine. She talked about everything she failed. She failed and failed and failed, and there was no end to it, no end. And I just wrote down that she literally, every little thing, she only blames herself. It gets me so much. It's so sad. Not only is the fear of failure so prevalent in her, she genuinely believes that it was all her fault. Yes, she projects on other people. Yes, but in her heart, she's like, I know it's all me. It's all my fault. And it just makes me so sad.
I know.
My heart.
Nobody else to blame.
No one else. She's just like, her. Nope, this is me, only me. Yep. So sad. So she calls for it, tries. There was nothing. Her heart thundered. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then in the middle, and then it had opened an eye. Not one she could see, but one that she could feel fixed on her. It had widened as it realized who stood there. The female who had taken so much, too much. It had narrowed all of its depthless power, its rage upon her. A cat trapping a mouse in its paw. Her hand shook. Nesta? She couldn't breathe. Nesta. She couldn't endure it. The memory of the ancient horror and fury. She opened her eyes. I can't, she rasped. I can't. The power, I don't think I have it anymore. I'm like, the fact that Nesta got scared again. She couldn't summon it. She said, I can't.
She couldn't endure the disappointment in Cassian's voice either.
Oh, because she's like, I just failed again.
Yeah, as he said, all right.
So sad. Yeah, she didn't eat. She just...
And then I said, or like I noted, whatever, except crawl into bed and stare up at the darkness and free fall into it.
Like, it's not darkness return. She's like, I'm diving into
that. Yep.
This
nightmare
was so talk about blood pumping. I was like, like honestly, I remember when I first started reading, I wanted to read thrillers because I was like, can books really get your blood pumping?
I don't think I can handle
it. Okay, let's get through this quickly though. Okay, I promise. It just said
it was really good, so we can discuss it, but
I know it was scary. Felt it come closer. She couldn't move her
darkness slid through the.
Talk about sleep paralysis.
I was so confused at this part when she was like, darkness slid through the cracked doors. In my brain, I thought she was meaning like it was darkness was flowing through her brain again.
Oh, okay, like it was coming from everywhere.
Yes. So I thought she was just getting very descriptive with that. But then when she was like, the darkness slithered into her bed and she forced her eyes to open to see it gather over her, a cloud with no shape, no form, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
She screamed as the cauldron's darkness pinned her to the bed. And then I was like, wow, this is a very vivid dream.
Yeah.
Like nightmare. And then there was nothing but the horrible weight of it filling her body, tearing her apart from the inside, and then nothing.
This thing's trying to extract what she took. That's crazy to me. I'm like, this is insane. It's ripping her from the inside out to take it back.
Yeah. But then Cassian jolted away.
Oh, sweet. I was like...
So once Cassian jolted away, I was like, oh, this is not a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is legit happening. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then...
even though at first I was like, oh, it's probably just, she's been moving around.
Yeah.
But then, the first was this beautiful... Again, she wrote this so well of him awakening, knowing something's wrong, terror, dread. His siphon was glowing. The air was cold.
Terror and
lamps
dread
flared a fire.
Sluiced, whatever, through him. I hate
that word. Yeah. Flared and flickering, flashing, desperately signaling him. Like, the house was begging him to run.
The house was protecting her.
So sweet. Only the house could look out for her. But then, as his door flung open, a heartbeat. And then he'd reached the landing of Nesta's level, and when she screamed, not a scream of rage, but of pure terror.
His body distilled at that scream.
And he just, like...
Any threats to her to kill and not to stop. Every last enemy was dead or bleeding.
Oh my word. I don't underline that. That's
her door was open and light blazed from within.
It's probably the house is like...
Yeah, so Cassian Cassian pushed himself faster, running as swiftly as he'd ever had in his life. He slammed into the archway of her door.
Bro, I don't have any of this underlined because
I don't either.
So crazy. Okay,
some of them,
keep going. Awesome.
He slammed into the archway of her door, rebounding off of it and into the room, and came up short at what he beheld. At that part, it was
so crazy. Me too. I'm like, oh my word.
What did he
see? This was so good.
Nesta lay in her bed, body arched. I'm just picturing like
Exorcist.
Creepy terror.
I'm thinking like Exorcist,
thriller,
like totally like
just completely arched,
bathed in silver fire.
Oh, like as if devouring her. So and then Az said, "Holy gods!"
Yeah, like, bro, you got asked to get scared. And Az said words. He said 2 words. Like, that's when you know it's serious. Cassie probably thought he's like, this wasn't as bad.
No,
and then
I'm not joking. When he said holy gods, I was like, this is bad.
And I was like, Az said that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then
arced again. Again, she's literally sobbing. She's crying. And yet they said they're like not warmth, like icy cool fire.
And a word appeared, and she said no.
Yep. Nesta screamed again, and a word appeared in it. In her scream, she's literally screaming, crying, pleading. No.
Reese pounced.
Yep. Okay. Finally, this is the only time in this book where I'm like, oh, Reese is here.
I was really glad that Reese came to like help because it reminded me like how he is always there for his people.
Yes.
No matter what. It gave me that reminder.
It's his job, and he's doing it well. Yes.
It gave me that reminder that he is always there for everyone, and he will literally throw himself in anything to save people.
Yeah, and he could be anywhere right now, but he's like, I need... Yeah, and I love this.
He smothered her fire with his darkness as if he dropped a blanket on it.
Just such a cool imagery.
Nesta screamed, and this time it was a sound of pain. Which was so interesting.
So it went from, terror to pain. Like, this thing is, this is torture. This is crazy.
Yeah. Like, Nesta, this is a dream. Cassian thrashed against Azriel.
Which, by the way...
to stop hurting her.
This is so sweet. Like, Az is there for Cass. Cass is there for Nesta. Reese is there for all of them.
Yes.
I think this is such a sweet... Again, like, the bromance. The brotherly...
I can picture what do we do?
Yeah, and then Az is like, the first person he sees, okay, Cass, like, calm down. And then Cass is like, no, let me go. I need to get Nesta. And then Reese is like, okay, everyone, calm down.
Like, put out the fire.
It's like the office scene.
No, seriously.
Everyone's freaking out. They're like, the intensity of this,
like, I was just like, Nesta.
No, all of this scene was just boom, boom, boom. It played out so well.
I don't even know how I underlined things.
Bro, me neither. I must have gone back. So the second half of that page was, Reese is saying, wake up. Nesta fought, and Reese gritted his teeth, power gathering. Like, how much energy is Reese exerting right now? But then, I love Cassian. He says, let me go, Cassian said to Reese. Az, let me go right now. Az, to his surprise, did. Oh, so cute. Then, Cassian knew the odds were against him, even though he just had his knife. He walked to the silver fire, and he said calmly, Nesta. I wrote, the silver fire flickered. Nothing stopped, except for when she heard his voice.
Yes.
So cute. He could have sworn.
Go.
Her consciousness, that power shifted toward him just long enough. The wave of Reese's power that hit her wasn't the brutal attack of earlier, but a soft wave that washed over the flame, banked it, which I appreciate, because in my mind, I was like, I feel like maybe Reese did hurt her in the beginning. Like, when he started, he's just like, let me control this.
Yes.
But I think now, I appreciate that it's said that that power shifted.
Yeah.
And it's now him kind of a soft wave. I was like, okay, he's holding back. Thank you. Like, hello. Help a girl out. Don't freaking torture her even more. Reese went still in a way that told Cassian his brother was no longer fully present, but rather in the mind of the female who had gone unmoving upon her bed. So now she's like, he must have put a blanket over her. Boom, she's out. So she's no longer whatever. The gift. Cassian wasn't even breathing. Like, and Az was like, this whole scene was so beautifully written. I could see everything. It was incredible. So wait, but
like Reese was in Nesta's mind. So he needed to see all
that.
But
he says later, it's because her walls were down.
Oh,
at the end of this chapter, I marked it because that's what I was thinking at first. I was like, so he can. But then he said, no, it was down. Her guards weren't up. Slowly the flame receded, vanished like smoke. Slowly Nesta's body relaxed. Her breathing evened out, limp, unconscious. Cassian swallowed, his heart pounding so hard he knew Az could hear it as his brother came up beside him. So cute, because Az is like, I'm here for you, bro. It was so cute. I got you. Oh, Reese inhaled. What happened? Okay. Jump down a little.
The High Lord's hands were shaking, trembling so wildly.
Bro,
this was... Cassian had no idea what to do.
And this was the moment where I'm like, okay, this was my turning point for Reese, because he finally understood Nesta. Like, after this, you better be good. This is so crazy. She's so powerful. He goes, was that Nesta's true power, the silver fire? He says, only the surface of it. He's literally shaking, and they're like, oh, is that her? That's her power. He goes, nope, that's just part of it, bud.
Yep.
Oh my word. And then it didn't work, and Nestor's fear, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and again, I'm so sad. Cassian's...
That was crazy.
Yeah, but Cassian's blaming himself. He left her alone afterward, knowing she'd want privacy. Like, he knew she wanted it, but he's like, I left her alone. Oh, that makes me so... Yeah, it was a tripwire.
Yep.
She was dreaming of the cauldron of... And then he stutters. He goes, of when she went in. Cassian had never seen Rhys at such a loss for words. And then I'm just going to read the rest because honestly, whatever. I saw it, Rhys whispered, felt it, everything that happened within the cauldron. Saw her take its power with her teeth and claws and rage. And I felt what it took from her. Rhys rubbed his face and slowly straightened. He met Cassian's stare unflinchingly, his eyes full of remorse and agony. Her trauma is... Rhys's throat bobbed. I know, Cassian whispered. I guessed, Rhys breathed, but it was different to feel it. What is her power? Azrael asked. Death. He goes on, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, fear clouded the High Lord's face, or fear clouded the face of the High Lord of the Night Court. Pure death. Oh my goodness. This was the moment. Rhys gets it now. He literally felt... How can you not after that? How can you not be like, maybe we should cut her some slack? I mean, the fact that this thing is trying to get it out from her and that her power, it blows my mind. Okay, thank you for listening. That was actually chapters 25 to 29 because they were just so good. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, like and follow because that apparently is good for us. So new episode every Friday, except next week we have a couple episodes. Yeah. So
thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.